Welcome to Crime Stoppers. I'm your host, Chip Brown. Heartland Crime Stoppers is a community-based program designed to help law enforcement solve crime by providing a way for the public to phone in tips anonymously and receive cash rewards of up to $3,000 for information that leads to an arrest, the recovery of stolen property, or the recovery of illegal drugs. Heartland Crime Stoppers is funded through the State of Florida Office of the Attorney General Crime Stoppers Trust Fund and through donations from the community. Citizens and local businesses make Crime Stoppers work. The mission of the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots program is to collect new, unwrapped toys during October, November, and December each year and distribute those toys as Christmas gifts to less fortunate children in the community in which the campaign is conducted. Joining us in the studio is David Waller with the Toys for Tots. David, welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. You have a long history in law enforcement before you moved on to the Toys for Tots. So tell us about that.
Well, Chip, like you, I started in the 70s. I started at Lake Wales PD back in 1976. I got involved with law enforcement from driving the ambulances. The ambulances back then were run by the funeral homes.
Yes.
So we ran the ambulances, being around the law enforcement officers. I got hooked. 76, I started full-time, worked there for a number of years until 1980. Was fortunate enough to go to the sheriff's office, Polk County Sheriff's Office, and worked there until 1987 when I left to go to work for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And I retired from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in 2012.
Well, so how did you make that jump from retired law enforcement to the Toys for Tots? How did you make that jump?
Well, after retirement, I'm still a reserve deputy at the sheriff's office, but after retirement, I had a small business doing a paper business, and then I actually sold that, and I was getting a little bored, and I saw an advertisement in the paper, a story about them needing new coordinators for the program, and I stepped up and volunteered and said I would do it, and here we are today. That was back in 2016.
Well, and time has flown. Now, I know that you collect toys, and people think, well, when it comes December, I start thinking about it, and I'm going to throw something in the box, or I want to make a donation. But this requires many, many months of effort and getting the word out.
It does. So how our program works, basically, we're called an LCO, a local community organization. We don't have a Marine Corps base here or a unit here, so it's local community volunteers that run the program. What we do is, starting in September, we will start opening up our online applications, and we advertise it through Facebook, through media, here today at Crime Stoppers talking about it, to have parents of the neediest children go online and to apply for toys. We go from zero, actually from an infant all the way up to 13 years old. The parent must be receiving some kind of substance, government substance, food stamps, WIC, something along those lines. We get the applications, we review them. Then in late October, we will work with a number of our major warehouse owners in our community, and we will get a warehouse that will be donated to us, at least 10,000 square feet.
That is a lot of space.
It is a lot of space. And we have our volunteers that will come in. We have toys that we've had stored from the previous year's campaign that came in after the campaign. We will start our inventory of our warehouse just like a shopping center, just like a toy store, with rows of toys by age, by sex, by what the interest of the child is. And we will set that up. It takes a couple of weeks to set that up. And once we start, then we'll start shopping with our applications.
Now, that you talked about the volunteers. How many volunteers does it take to pull this off?
Well, we have a number of key volunteers that have been with the program for a number of years, about eight to nine key volunteers. But through the year, we need a lot more volunteers, not just in the warehouse. The warehouse, we need the volunteers to shop and to bag the toys and to separate the toys where they're going to be distributed. But we also need volunteers in the community. We have the boxes that you see in various stores, the toy drop boxes. They go out November 1st. We get calls from community businesses, groups that are having events, and we give them our toy boxes that the community then, how they support us is putting new unwrapped toys in those boxes. We have a group of people all over the county that have been doing this for years. They will come take these boxes starting November 1st, putting them at Publix's, other stores all over the community for the donations. So we have that group of volunteers as well. Probably we're talking anywhere from about close to 100 volunteers that help run this program every year.
Now, if someone wants to be a volunteer to assist, in this effort, they can just call the Toys for Tots number, and you can vet them and find something for them to do, I'm sure.
Yes, they can. They can call our number. It's going to be 863-292-8687. They can go on Facebook. We're Polk County Toys for Tots on Facebook. We also have a website. They can Google it. It's a little complicated, long website, but if they Google Marine Corps Toys for Tots, it'll show up, and they can request to be a volunteer. They can request to be a toy drop box location on our website as well.
How many locations, I'm just thinking here in my mind, to all these boxes that you drop off to collect these toys, how many boxes do you actually have to distribute and pick up?
We have roughly 325 locations throughout Polk County that these boxes go to, and some boxes we'll have to go several times during the season to pick up the toys to take them to our warehouse. The toys come in, we restock the shelves as the volunteers continue to shop. Those toys at the warehouse, they get bagged, taken out, and we're now doing distributions out in the community. We found various churches, other locations, big, large buildings, and we had the distribution around the 15th of December, whatever Saturday is around that time period, where the families have to come in and pick up the toys, get them home, and be ready for Christmas.
And you have mentioned several times that these toys that they need to donate, or they're donating, need to be unwrapped, obviously, because certain toys go for a certain age or certain, sex of the children and things like that. So it's very important that they are unwrapped.
Correct. All toys have to be new and they have to be unwrapped. Our volunteer has a sheet that says that they have a child with a certain age and a certain like or an interest of the child, and we have to know what that toy is or where it's going to be in our inventory. If it's a wrapped toy, we're unable to use it. Bicycles are key. We always need bicycles too as well.
I was just going to ask you, is there a set amount, a minimum amount, or a maximum amount of a gift that anyone can donate, or is it just to the goodwill of the person making the donation?
Goodwill of the person making the donation. Now, the mission, our mission to give toys back out our mission is one toy per child. However, due to the generosity of the Polk County community, we're able to give upwards of 4 and sometimes 5 toys per child. Last year, we gave out over 46,000 toys to children in Polk County. We gave toys to over 12,400 children in Polk County, which was an increase of roughly 3,000 from the previous year. Word is continuing to grow in Polk County about Toys for Tots. People are continuing to be generous and donate to us. We're so thankful for the generosity of Polk County and for the residents of Polk County.
Now, David, you had said earlier that sometimes you get requests other than Christmas for toys for certain, occasions like that through law enforcement. Tell us about some of those.
Well, being a retired law enforcement officer and being a member of the Police Chiefs Association, which you're a member of too, I'm aware and contacted by all law enforcement agencies if there was a tragedy in a family, a house burning down that had children involved that may need some toys to replenish, a dangerous situation or a family loss where they said they will come to me and they'll say, Mr. Waller, can we get some toys to give to this family to help these children keep the mind off of the event that's happened? It helps the parents to move along with that process a little better, and we have toys that are on hand that I have access to, including some bicycles. We've had to do that one time this year, I believe it was in February, where there was a house that burnt down in Eagle Lake, and we worked with members of the Sheriff's Office, had them come to our location and get some toys to take back to that family.
It's just so wonderful that you're able to have that flexibility, and just the bottom line is to help these kids that are going through a rough time, whether it's due to their economic condition perhaps, or through some kind of tragedy, because it's tough on the parents, it's tough on the kids, and it's so important for all of us to help everybody just have a good Christmas.
It is, Chip. Polk County and a lot of areas of our county, there are a lot of homeless children. It's well documented. There's a number of homeless children that are living in our county, and the parents virtually have no funds to provide Christmas. Our motto is that every child deserves a little Christmas, and we want to make sure that we continue doing that, continue to partner with the community, with our law enforcement officers, with our businesses who support our program to make sure that every child does get a toy at Christmas.
Well, David, thank you so very much for what you're doing. Thank you for your service, and I'm sure that you're enjoying your retirement and getting a lot of just feel-good moments with Toys for Tots.
It does. Thank you.
For more information on Toys for Tots, you can follow them on Facebook at Polk County Toys for Tots. Crime Stoppers provides a way for local law enforcement to receive information on crimes while keeping the people providing that information anonymous. These efforts increase tips, which in turn solve more crimes and identify criminals in our community. Here's a look at some of our most recent cases.
Around 6:40 a.m. on Sunday, June 16th, a 911 call was received reporting an unresponsive female laying on her back in the grass median of US 92, also known as Memorial Boulevard, near Kennedy Auto Sales on Reynolds Road in Lakeland. When first responders arrived on the scene, it was apparent that the victim was deceased. The victim has been positively identified as 22-year-old Cara Faye Hanvey of Sebring. Here is a recent photo of her. An autopsy determined that she was fatally struck by a vehicle. Polk County Sheriff's Office robbery detectives are currently investigating a bank robbery that occurred Thursday, May 30th at approximately 12:04 p.m. at the Fifth Third Bank located at 435 Cumbie Road in Lakeland. The unknown suspect walked up to the clerk and produced a note demanding cash from the drawer. The clerk provided the suspect with the money, at which time the suspect fled the bank on foot south on Cumbie Road. Neighboring business surveillance cameras captured the suspect enter and exit what appeared to be a gold Chevy Cruze prior to and after the robbery occurred. The suspect was described as a white male in his late 30s to early 40s with a dark goatee, approximately 5'7", and a medium build. The Haines City Police Department is looking for the public's help in finding information regarding burglaries that took place in the area of Peninsular Drive on June 7th. The vehicle burglaries and one residential burglary were reported. In the case of the vehicles, the doors were left unlocked and miscellaneous items and valuables were taken. At the residential burglary, 2 bicycles were removed from an unsecured garage. Videos obtained from the area showed the 2 pictured subjects. Early Friday morning, June 7th, the Polk County Sheriff's Office reported car burglars were doing their thing on Swindell Road in West Lakeland. Making the problem even worse and more troubling, one of the witnesses said she was alerted to the car burglary when she heard someone trying to open her locked screen door on her house. The Polk County Sheriff's Office recently posted a video of 2 men breaking into a residence at the Evergreen Mobile Home Park. Well, one of the men have been identified as 22-year-old Richard Morrison of Lakeland. A warrant for his arrest has been obtained with the charges of unarmed burglary and grand theft. Now, we really need to find Richard. We also need you to identify Richard's partner in crime. Batteries and pillows? That's a strange combination, right? Well, the guy in this video took $381 worth from Walmart at 355 Cypress Gardens Boulevard on May 30th. He was seen getting into a black sedan, possibly driven by a white female. Polk County Sheriff's deputies are seeking the public's help in a business burglary investigation. On May 26th at approximately 1 in the morning, a business burglary occurred at First Choice Mini Storage located at 8315 Highway 33 North Lakeland. An unknown suspect cut the fence to the business, then drove a truck through the fence. The suspect removed a 2015 Z Sprayer Jr. and a 2012 homemade trailer loaded with approximately $25,000 worth of equipment. The truck is described as a single cab truck with a flat bed with lights on the roof. The driver's side door has two colors, but the passenger side is solid white. A woman in Polk City reported that someone stole her green and white 2008 MTX catamaran, approximately 22 and a half feet, and a silver trailer. If you have any information on any of the cases you've just seen or any information on an unsolved crime, please contact Heartland Crime Stoppers and leave an anonymous tip. The toll-free tip line is 1-800-226-TIPS. That's 8477. You can also leave an anonymous web tip by going to www.heartlandcrimestoppers.com and click on the Give a Tip tab, or by going to www.p3tips.com. Don't forget, you can download our free P3 Tips app on your smart device. Whichever way you choose to leave a tip, you will remain 100% anonymous. If your tip results in an arrest, the recovery of stolen property, or the recovery of illegal drugs, you could be eligible for a cash reward of up to $3,000.
Welcome back to Crime Stoppers. I'm your host, Chip Brown. The Lakeland Flying Tigers kicked off their Law Enforcement Appreciation Weekend with the 4th annual Battle of the Badges charity softball game between the Polk County Sheriff's Office and the Lakeland Police Department at Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium. LPD won the game 27-14, winning bragging rights and money for their charities. Here's a look at some of the sights, sounds, and interviews of the game. I'm here with Zach Buick, the general manager of the Lakeland Flying Tigers. Zach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and welcome to beautiful Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium today.
It's a beautiful day. We're here for the annual Battle of the Badges, the Sheriff's Office, for Polk County versus the Lakeland Police Department. It's been some epic battles over the last couple of years and a lot of pride.
A lot of pride, and I can tell you, very competitive. These guys work together throughout the year, so there's a lot of bragging rights in here. And we're excited. Obviously, at the end of the day, this is a community event. Money raised today will go towards their foundation. So it's awesome to see these guys out there, not in uniform, having a great time and making an impact for our community.
Yeah, and y'all do so much, the Flying Tigers, for the community itself. There's always, I know recently you had the Grady Judd bobblehead night, which was a great success. And coming up for July 4th, you've got some new things for that too, do you not?
Yeah, so Sheriff Grady Judd was just amazing. To be able to get his approval and support of doing that bobblehead for us, which was one of our most successful promotions we've had all year. And for him, I mean, the videos that he was doing on social media, and he was all in, and he signed every bobblehead for any fan that was here that night. So we were excited about that. Tied right in with Law Enforcement Weekend, and so a full summer of fun coming up. Very family friendly, affordable. Kids out of school, so we're looking forward to having folks come out. July 4th, obviously our biggest night of the season. For us, it's about that patriotic, that local community, and with baseball tied in, and a tremendous fireworks show that night, and something that we're very, very proud of. But we got events coming up throughout the summer. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Man Walking on the Moon, so we're going to have special space-inspired themed jerseys that the players are going to be wearing on the field this summer. And then also, it's the 50th anniversary of Woodstock this summer, so we've created these cool Woodstock jerseys that players are going to wear during the summer. And the great thing about it is the players wear them, they have a great time with them, and then the money that we raise goes back into the community and supports local nonprofits.
And like you say, what a wonderful way to come spend an evening and afternoon here out in the sun, enjoying the beautiful renovated stadium. good food, good company, good ball games. What can be better?
Absolutely, and for us, if you want to check out our season, it seems like we've been playing forever, but we got a full summer worth of games. We play 140 games and 153 games with 153 days, with 70 of those being at home. And so if you want to check us out, you can check us out on flyingtigers.com. We're on Facebook, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and it's got all of our promotions on there, cool pictures and videos. So if you're looking for something fun to do this summer, come on out and give us a chance.
Zach, thank you. We appreciate it. And fans, if you got something to do, change your plans and come to one of the Flying Tigers games. I'm here with Sergeant Tom Connor of the Lakeland Police Department. Now, Tom, you're going to be pitching for LPD this year, and no pressure, but this is your first year playing, right?
It is my first year playing in this particular charity event. I've played before softball with the Sheriff's Office in Lakeland, but it'll be a new experience for me to pitch for the first time. I've never pitched in any softball game before, so we'll see what we can do.
Well, good deal. Now, I understand that your fastball is working pretty well today. It's what, 3.5, almost 4 miles an hour?
Almost 4. If I can reach 5, it's unhittable. But right now, I'm just trying to work at spots and making sure keep it low, and hopefully they won't hit it out.
Good deal. Well, good luck, Tom. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Sergeant Kevin Matheny of the Polk County Sheriff's Office, and Kevin's going to be pitching for the SO today. Now, you pitched last year, did you not?
Yes, sir, I did.
You did pretty well with them last year. Y'all pulled out a nice victory, so you're hoping to have the same thing this year, I'm sure.
I'm definitely hoping to repeat this year as we did last year. So it's gonna be a good competition out here. I think a little bit better this year, but I'm hoping that we come back out on top again.
Now, being as hot as it is and the humidity, is that going to affect your split ball, or your sinker? Is that going to have any effect on that?
It shouldn't have any effect on it. We should be working just fine today.
It's a big boy right there. That looked like a strike to me. Yeah, it looked pretty good to me. Oh, no. Uh-oh, there they go, there they go, there they go. Okay. Triple. How hot do you think it is out here? About 110? 110? I think it's about 110. Yeah, feels like it.
Zero shade?
No shade at all. Gotta have a big hat. That's it. I'm not sure these guys are cops. I think they're ball players.
Let's go! Two.
You were close. You were close.
I'm good until I go to work Monday, then I'll be hurt.
Ooh, that's right down the middle. Look good. Look good.
Hey, look good, McKay.
What's he doing? He didn't call it? You got to watch out for these umpires, man. Another one. Another one. Another one. Not a big enough arch, he's saying.
I'm here with Lakeland Police Chief Ruben Garcia, and Ruben, LPD is looking pretty good at the early innings here.
Looking real good the first couple of innings. They're doing what we try to tell them to do everything, doing the small stuff great, and they're doing a great job out here today.
Yeah, I know you've got a rookie pitcher out there for the game, and Tom seems to be doing well. He was talking about his fastball really has some ump on it today, so we're excited about that, I'm sure.
I think so. That's one of our sergeants. He's used to leading these guys, so he's leading them real well today.
You know, and how much fun does it come out here? You know, everybody's super competitive, but just to be able to have some time off and just to enjoy some time outside the office with, with your partners, the sheriff's office.
Oh, it's great. It's it's just another day of that great partnership we share with the sheriff's office. So we're just glad to be able to spend a Saturday afternoon with them.
Now, who is your wife rooting for?
I suspect she's rooting for the sheriff's office. She's the captain over on the other team.
I kind of suspected that. So, well, wish you good luck, Chief, and thank you for all you do for the city of Lakeland. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, sir.
We're here with Sheriff Grady Judd, and Sheriff, looks like y'all need to kind of tighten things up a little bit here.
But do you know, we won by a lot last year. It looks like LPD may win by a lot this year if we don't change what we're doing. They're hitting the ball, we're not fielding. Last year, we were hitting the ball and they weren't fielding. So all we've got to do is get it together. But when you give someone a 20-run lead on you, I was born in the morning, but it wasn't yesterday. That's normally not good. So we'll see what happens. But you know, it's a lot of fun, and it's all about charity and doing what's right for the community. So we are real excited to play against the Lakeland Police Department every year on this softball field. And the other 364 days we play together, keeping the people of the community safe.
Yeah, I can remember, golly, over the years when I was on the street, same thing. When somebody needed help, you called and you knew that the sheriff was going to be there, the sheriff knew that the LPD was going to be there, and it's always about helping people out and protecting our folks and putting the bad guys in jail.
Oh, that's right. Our priority is to keep people safe and to have a low crime rate, and that occurs in Polk County. This is one of the safest communities in the entire United States to live. And it's because of the great work of the men and women that you see out here today and all of their colleagues. So we're excited to play this softball game together, to raise money for charity, and to go out and put bad guys in jail so it's safe for the children to walk in their communities and play in their communities without mom and dad having to worry.
Absolutely. Now, recently here at the stadium, you know, for the Flying Tigers, they had a Grady Judd bobblehead night, and understand that went over quite well, and that you even signed one or two of the bobbleheads for people.
Well, do you know, I was here a long time last night, and it was really exciting. That's right, the first 1,200 people here last night got a bobblehead. And they asked me, well, would you autograph a few? And I did, a few hundred. So I appreciate everybody being patient and waiting in line. And as a result, we had a good time, and once again, we raised money for charity. And we also helped the Flying Tigers, and quite frankly, it was a lot of fun. So I appreciate the Flying Tigers working with us and allowing us to do this.
Yeah, it is such a great place to come for the family on a night. Now that school is out for the summer, you know, you can come here, you can enjoy a good ball game, you can have some good snacks and good family All-American fun. So we encourage everybody, if you're not doing anything, come on down and catch a ball game here for the Flying Tigers. That's going to do it for this edition of the Heartland Crime Stoppers Show. We certainly thank you for joining us today, and of course to the officers and the deputies that played so hard in this annual benefit softball game. I'm your host, Chip Brown, for the Heartland Crime Stoppers, and remember, it's a crime, and you can help make sure that they don't get away with it.